Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mal bringing you another special episode of The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. So, this episode is brought to you by my mom. I know that sounds super tacky, but she's asking why I'm doing these things, what I'm doing, what is a Let's Play. So I figured I'd kind of explain a little bit about that, and then specifically explain The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, because I think it's a game that is kind of difficult to explain to people who are not familiar with games, and maybe this is a good shot, or worth a good shot at trying to explain it. Of course, I had prepared any material for this. I'm just kind of doing it all blind, so let's see how it goes. First of all, why do I do Let's Plays? Because it kind of gives me some structure, lets me play games, become interactive with them on more than just a visual and manual basis. Gotta talk about it and think about it too. Secondly, what is Binding of Isaac Rebirth? So, Binding of Isaac Rebirth is a roguelike game, something I'd like to call a twin-stick shooter, as well as a roguelike. So roguelike means you have permanent death. So when you die in a run, you die, and that's the end of that run. You gotta start brand new from this bottom. Like the Drake song, they start from the bottom, now they hear. So, because when you start from the bottom, every time, you start with a totally random new set of items that you can collect, a new set of floors you can explore, and new bosses you fight on each. You basically get rolls from a pool. So, you have these set of items from this bigger set of items, or these set of bosses from this bigger set of bosses. That's what we mean by random. The other part about the non-roguelike part about Binding of Isaac is that you have unlocks. Things progress. You gain stuff as you play through the game. So as you can see here, I have these 3 save files. These 2 look the same. That means I've done some certain things in the game that let me unlock a bunch of stuff. This one's brand new. Nothing going on there. So, in a twin-stick shooter, I think it's best just to show you. Twin-stick shooter is a game that... Let's see what I got here. Sorry, I'm just going to think of what character I want to make. Let's do... Oh, I'll do the simple Isaac. Yeah, we'll do a simple Isaac run and we'll go chest. So, twin-stick shooter is a game where you have 4 cardinal directions, which you control with the W, A, S, and D keys. Or a controller if you have one. And you shoot in the cardinal directions with your arrow keys. So, basic part of the game, you can move around, you can attack, I can put a bomb down, which I'm not going to do because I only have 1 bomb, and I can use an item, which I'm also not going to do because it has charges, as you can see up in the top left there. And this is basically what the game is. You run around, you shoot monsters, you try not to get hit. See, these guys will shoot at me, I'll dodge out of the way, shoot him back. I could also just sit back here because I'm out of his range. And you go into these golden rooms, and you pick up items. This item lets me poop, or lets me fart every time somebody attacks me. Yes. So, now that you know kind of the basics of the game, the fun part about Binding of Isaac is partially its themes. The gameplay itself is very good, don't get me wrong, but the themes are the other half of the fun, let's say. So as you could see when I was in that starting screen, I was playing as Isaac. There was a character called Cain, a character called Magdalene. There's a lot of biblical characters in this. Ooh, all again. It's a nice item. So, there's a lot of biblical characters. It has a lot of biblical themes in it. There's an intro video to this, which I might post a bit later, where you are... It basically goes to the story. The story of the game is you're Isaac, little baby, and your mom listens to way too much television about... basically listens to way too much evangelist television. Watching Christian television is what it says. Horn, I think I'll grab. And basically, as Isaac's sitting around playing, his mom kind of loses her shit. She goes a little bit crazy and decides, and the voices in her head, the God that's telling her to do these things, tells her that she has to kill Isaac. Well, first it says, you have to take all his stuff away, he's sinful, you gotta save him from it, so they take all his toys away. Then, it says you have to protect him from the darkness inside him, and they lock him up. And then it says you have to kill him. So the last part of the intro vignette, or intro video, is Isaac running into the basement, trying to run away from his mom. Which is where we are. So, in this basement, this horrible, horrible basement, we find horrible, horrible, terrible monsters, and we haven't even got to the really scary ones yet. This is, just the basement. It goes deeper, much deeper. And the goal of this game is to kill Mom. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this in a video about, for my mother, essentially. But, we'll represent things as they are. So So yeah, the game is entirely about delving deep, unlocking things, and eventually killing your mom. Moon card. And that's it. I shouldn't say that's it. After you've killed mom a couple times, as you play through the game, you start unlocking deeper floors. You can go to the cathedral. The cathedral leads you to... Oh, I'm in an XL room. Didn't even notice. The cathedral leads you to... Oh, there you can see the toot effect. The cathedral leads you to fight Isaac. You fight yourself. And then after you beat the cathedral a couple times, you can go find another place called the chest, which is, you know, Isaac's toy chest, basically. And in there, you fight the blue baby, who is, you know, an aborted fetus who's still alive, basically. Like I said, the themes in this game are both biblical and very fucked up. You know, the monster design here, this is Monstro. He is an obvious cleft palate. Hold on to that. An obvious cleft palate. And, you know, is a giant, horrible head flopping around, spitting death on everything it possibly can. What's this? Cement tears. Your character does damage by crying at enemies, for lack of a better term. Yeah, the game is meant to be disconcerting and disturbing. It's meant to be. I mean, you know, in the course of playing it a lot, you kind of just get used to the gameplay. But you know, when you step back and think about what you're doing every now and then, it's like, oh, that's a little fucked up, just a little. But it's a little fucked up. And as you can see here, as we collect items, our character becomes more and more horrific. So we have our, you know, I collected 3 or 4 items. Some of them I didn't even take. Some of them are passive things. So now I vomit flies out of myself. I have a bunch of bulbous growths out of my head from growth hormones. My eyes have been covered in rubber cement, so my tears can bounce places. And I do a bit more damage. With that, we go down to the next floor. So, I should mention that each floor, sometimes you get cursed on that floor. So the last floor, we had the Curse of the Labyrinth, which means it's a building, or it's a curse, or it's an area that's twice as big. And that's kind of not a super bad curse. There's a shop place where you can buy stuff, keys up on the left-hand side of the screen there. Also, I can take drugs to hopefully get a benefit or hurt myself. You know, I can take keys to give myself a benefit. I can spend a key to get into the shop to spend money and get items that'll give me a benefit, maybe. Yeah, there's also things like Curse of the Unknown, where you don't know how much health you have, so I don't know how many hits I can take up in the top left there. There's things like Curse of the Lost, where you can't see your map. So you see that map on the top right. I don't know where I'm going. That's more annoying than anything, because, you know, you don't know where you're going when you start, but when you want to go back and explore things, or, you know, if you do have an item that lets you see where you are going, or, like, explores the map for you, then, you know, that becomes an issue. There's also secret rooms, which is why I'm trying to explode this wall. See, I bust a hole in the wall, found some secret items. Not going to use them quite yet. This lets me basically recharge the item I have in my top left corner, which is a D6. The D6 lets me reroll whatever items I see. So it's kind of useful. If you see an item that's like, that's not super good, you can reroll it. And so this is the Binding of Isaac. I mean, you basically play as a horrible, malformed, just abused baby in this awful pixelated hellscape. And you try and kill your satanic mother, your disturbed mother. It's pretty good. The fun comes, again, from, you know, the weirdness of it, but also the mechanics. So the game plays really tightly. Like, you can see I'm trying to dodge around enemies. Oh, mom's contact, that's good. Or mom's eye. Damn it, that's the wrong one. Whatever. You can see I can dodge around enemies, you know, things shoot out of guys, they explode. These guys shoot tears at home, so I have to, you know, dodge even extra. Sometimes I fail. Fail. We're now fighting a headless horseman. He is, you know, again, a terrifying monster that shoots vomiting tears, explosions at us, basically. Not a lot in the item rooms. Come around. down we go. And the whole point of the game is to get strong enough so you can get down deep enough to beat Mom. So here's one of those curses I was talking about, Curse of the Lost. It's probably one of the more annoying ones. Oh, spiders. Yeah, and you can just kind of watch it for a bit and understand the majesty and the horror. Majesty and the horror that is The Binding of Isaac. So usually as part of my Let's Plays, something I've been doing anyway, is kind of going on a bit of a rant. Last time, did a bit of a rant about, what was it, responsibility? I think something like that. This episode might go up a bit out of sync, so, you know, I can't remember what I was ranting about before then. I wouldn't even say rant would be the right word. You know, talking about stuff. Usually general concepts in life, like responsibility, or growing old, or, I don't know, video games and violence. I mean, obviously, this is kind of a weird, fucked up video game. Come on over here, you guys. Please let me kill you so I can carry on. There we are. I don't got anything on the docket right now. I think I did have something, but I've since forgotten. Friggin' bomb to blow that up so I can make a bridge for myself. Still no dice. Yeah, let me think about a rant here. What can I talk about? I mean, I could talk about the game, usually what I do when I'm not ranting about it. The game, I'm a little bit concerned. We don't have any bombs, so bombs are a good consumable that we can use to do, you know, access special things. You can access those secret rooms we were talking about earlier. I can access a thing called a tinted rock, like that, which will give you consumables. So it'll give me keys, bombs. It'll spawn a chest that I can open with keys for items, a random set of items. It'll give me a spirit heart, which is a gray heart that goes up in the top left corner there, and kind of protects my normal hearts. They're really good to get for other reasons, which is you don't take damage on the floor if you find them. If you don't take a red heart damage on the floor that you find them, you can find items that will... you can find items that will... what's the word I can look for? You can basically make deals with the devil. And deals with the devil are pretty cool because deals with the devil lets you pay health, so get rid of a red heart permanently for something else. Usually a good item. Usually. Let's see here, coming up in our boss room right away. So in terms of what I've got going on right now, I'm not super happy. I could use a lot more. I could use more damage. I could use more health. Speed is fine. Even our damage is okay, but you know, I didn't get a deal with the devil on the first floor, which is always a little painful. I'm probably not going to get one on this one. Oh, never mind. All stats up. And so here's the deal with the devil I was talking about. It's kind of a big part of the game. And the mark I will definitely take. And you basically, like you saw I had 4 spirit hearts up at the top there. Now I got 3. And that's all I got. So you can get items that give you more. Or sorry, give you more red hearts, but, you know, not always. So, I can still keep exploring. We haven't found an item room, which is, there's one on every floor for these upper floors. And I'd really like one, because, you know, more damage, more enemies. As you can see, my guy got gigantic after eating the magic mushroom. No, that's not a joke. Oh, what's this? Pyromaniac. Cool. So now, you know, my character's a little even more fucked up. I'm also, yeah, like I said, gigantic. Yep, that's the Binding of Isaac. You just get like a super weird, screwed up character, and that's not even some of the more screwed up items. Ooh, don't mind if I do. What do we got? Card Against Humanity. Oh, this one's pretty funny. So, there's a couple of jokes in the game. If you ever play Card Against Humanity, it's, you basically play a game about being a terrible person. Binding of Isaac, that lets you fill a room full of poop. I'll shoot it all because I have bouncing tears. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Got a spirit heart on it, and got a good trinket. So, you can also collect little things called trinkets, which you can hold on you. And they give you bonuses. This one makes it that we get, coins and stuff out of poop. When we shoot poop and destroy it, get more items. Which is pretty good. I've got good damage now. I've, you know, feeling a lot better about how much damage I'm doing. Still kind of lost. sure where my secret room is. Unless I've already been to it and I haven't really been paying attention, which is possible. Yeah, I think I'm losing my mind. Let's go down. So I gotta focus for a second here and try to remember where I've been. Because I've been everywhere, man. Seen the mountain air, man. Can't remember the rest of the Johnny Cash lyrics to that song. That's kind of depressing. So I love that song very much. You know, I wish I had a... Oh, I did go to my item room. Jesus. Yeah, sorry, I just picked up Pyromaniac there. Holy crap. All right. So as you can see, talking and playing a game at the same time can be a little difficult in the old memory center. And we'll go down to our next floor while I take a sip of water. Scratch that, a sip of tea that's a bit too hot. Excuse me. So, what do I want now? I would love a flying item, obviously, because I'm terrible at flying. Terrible without a flying item, I should say. F everything to do with this. Let's roll on. As you can see, there's sometimes stage hazards, so there's spikes in the floor. Those magnet guys in the top left, or the top right and the bottom left, they kind of suck you towards them. Your tears kind of bounce towards them as well. They're really annoying. I'll ignore this. Go to this room, which gives me a bunch of chests. Goat head's pretty good. Yeah, it gives me a bunch of chests. And that I have to fight enemies. Fight 3 sets of enemies to collect those chests. And it's just one of the kind of rooms, you know, Binding of Isaac's all about balancing risk and reward. So, like, pills, for instance. I don't know what this pill does. That one kind of wasn't so bad. Time before that, you know, it was a pretty good thing. Sometimes they hurt you. Sometimes they take your health away permanently. Sometimes they make you shoot slower or do less damage. Not quite yet. Yeah, the game's all about managing risk versus reward. So another, you know, good prime example of this is this spiky room right here. So every time I go through it, it hurts me. But there's also chests in there that may or may not give me some really good items. They have a chance of giving me really good items. They also have a chance of giving me, like, a live bomb that's going to explode in my face if I'm not careful. And that's kind of one of the major themes of the game, is typically... Oh, right, get some bullets. It's typically, you know, it makes you make decisions and make them carefully. The way the game's set up, too, is you can also sometimes, you know, kind of get around those decisions by some careful play. So, for instance, because I got that pill that I chose, and it gave me I Can See Forever, that lets me see through secret rooms. So I found this room, and it also tells me I can bomb my way or sneak my way into this room. What that did was sneak me into the devil room, that chest that opened, which gave me a good thing, and so I can pay a heart for more damage, which I'm going to do. I'm also going to drop that, and I'm going to do this. So here's the other risk-reward thing. I've given away almost all my health. I have one piece of non-permanent health that I can use, but now I can fly, which means spikes don't bother me. I do a lot more damage, which means I'm less likely to take damage, because I don't have to, you know, I'm not concerned about enemies attacking me. Dry baby, we'll hold on for a minute. Oh, sorry, I'm still concerned about enemies attacking me, but I can deal with them more quickly. See, like, I'm doing a lot of damage, not as concerned about these enemies. The other thing, too, is I can take a chance that this blue flame is going to give me a spirit heart, which would be a good thing for me. But it's, you know, it's a chance. I have to spend something to get it, and it might not even give me what I need. It's all about balancing risk versus reward. Like on this thing, I could gamble. Give my money away, it might give me good things. Full card's not super useful for me right now. I don't like gambling. It takes too long. Joker card's actually really good. What the Joker card does is it lets you teleport to a deal with the Devil Room. Any time. Which is, you know, a pretty strong item. I'll take. I have a whole bunch of money. Nun's Habit is not great anymore. I'm going to reroll. So, Broken Watch is another kind of risk-reward item. Basically what it does is it lets you... Occasionally, enemies get slowed down, like super crazy. Just occasionally. Sometimes it also speeds them up like crazy, so they're a lot harder to dodge. Float. Yeah. So as you can see, I'm doing really good damage now. This boss is going down pretty easily, so I'm less likely to take more damage. That's kind of the whole deal with the devil meta. Phew. I've already been in there. Might reroll that, see if I can. Don't need the money. Oh no, I could use the money because I get PhD right now. Yeah, no, it seems fine. Some items. You know, now I have a little crown on my head as I'm a flying demon winged demon baby. Just Binding of Isaac's all about. That's what we got here. Range up. Sure, I'll take it. Oh, do I have anything else to explore? Nope, but I can fly now and have a bunch of keys. So I'll pick some stuff up. So, these gold chests, another example of risk versus reward. They have a decent chance of giving you stuff. Sometimes they'll give you a sweet FA. It's not super good. Yeah. That's kind of why the game's fun, because you're forced to make these decisions where you're like, I don't know, I could risk using this thing and get nothing for it, or I could risk using it and kind of get a bit of a gain, or I could get something really good and be super excited about it. But it's always a risk, like you're never quite sure. Even that Joker card, like, do I hold on to it? Do I drop it in lieu for something else? There's another mechanic in the game where if you get to a certain point in under 20 minutes, you can go to a super awesome room. And I could do that. I could also grab another type of card to be able to do that and then be able to escape right away. Like, there's lots of different strategies you can employ to be successful. And they're not always immediately obvious. So this room, for instance, I can open a couple chests and fight a boss, which is usually a lot harder than those 3 sets of enemies I fought in that other type of room that's very similar. You know, given how much damage I'm doing right now, I'm like, oh no, that seems pretty reasonable. Doesn't seem like a bad choice for me to do, but it could be. But it could also be I might find something in here that's super awesome and saves me, saves me a run that I was gonna lose otherwise. You know, I mean, it's a very fair game in that regard, I think. Because life is kind of like that, you know, like you're rewarded for taking risks, but taking risks also means that, you know, something bad might happen to you. Like, starting a business, for instance. You start a business, you take a lot of risk. You take a lot of monetary risk. You take a lot of risk with your time. It could be a drain on your relationships. It could be like, a terrible, scary thing if not everyone's, prepared for it. You can go into business with people who will totally screw you over. Or you could go into business when, it's a bad time to go into that kind of business. And you just don't know. It just turns out to be a bad time to go into business. 90 minutes. Not gonna bother. Boss rush. So I like that aspect of it, because it is more realistic, I guess, than a lot of other games out there, where you can kind of just do things without any risk. You could have the very real risk of picking something up and losing because of it. And I love that. I like that feeling. I like games that allow you to make those decisions. Like, it's a game that rewards you for making decisions, and it rewards you not even for making necessarily the quote-unquote right decision, because there's not necessarily a right decision. Again, like a lot like life. Sometimes there's things that look like an obviously right decision, but then they turn out to be, not the case. There's nothing you can do about that. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just, oh no, that's annoying. Sometimes there's just, what you wanted to do is just not good at the time, and you just don't know. And I love that. I love that part about game. And I mean, it's something that's terrifying about real life. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, don't misunderstand me and think that I love the fact that, life is terrible and scary sometimes and risky. I kind of hate it. Like, I think like most people do. I'm a little bit risk adverse. Whatever. Yeah, I'm a little bit risk adverse. Like, really, if anybody who knows me, I don't like doing scary stuff. But sometimes you need to, and sometimes for the most reward, i.e., giving away half your health to get more damage, sometimes that's the best play. And yeah, I mean, I love that, and I love that about life. I mean, I don't like getting screwed randomly, I'll be honest. That's happened a couple times in life. And, you know, I'm not a huge fan in the, you know, or, you know, when you get down to it, not a huge fan of it. Here's our mom fight. So, this is, getting back to kind of the, you know, the game that I was talking about earlier, how the game is set up. You end up fighting Mom. So I just fought Mom. I punched her feet until they died. Oh, take the damage. Punched her feet until she died. Ugh. And beat her. So, that's normally where the game would stop if you were playing normally. You know, in a new save, like that's where the game would stop. You go do it again. Except now we're going deeper. Going to a deeper and scarier place entirely. This is called the Womb. As you can see, there's some disturbing aspects of the game. You know, disturbing and gross, I guess would be the word I'd use. Another pill. Take some more drugs. These drugs are awesome in this game. I hope you have a PhD. Maybe this game is something somebody young shouldn't play because it kind of gives the wrong opinion about certain things. Even if you do have a PhD, drugs can sometimes be a bad thing. Sometimes. You know, sometimes drugs are a good thing, but yeah, there's always some issues there. Secret shortcut, I should say. And we will continue delving into the womb in a hope to fight Mom's heart. So then kill. And then go to heaven. That's how this game rolls. Let's see. Low room. Nope. Those are that's another example of kind of risk reward in this game. Bob's Rotten Brain, that item that I'm like, nope. It is a little floating brain that kind of hangs out next to you, and when you shoot in a direction, initially, it will, I'll take. It will, launch in that direction. So when it launches in that direction, it flies forward and runs into something and explodes. The fun part is that if it explodes right in front of you, you're going to take damage. And obviously taking damage isn't a good thing, because taking damage means you die. Well, not die necessarily, but you have the higher risk of dying. Call it that. So it's an item I'm not going to take. That being said, that was kind of a mistake. Maybe not a mistake necessarily, but like I could have taken it because I'd picked up an item earlier that heals me when I get exploded. Like I get health from explosions. So it, you know, maybe that was a bad choice on my part. But you know, like I have to remember that I had that item, and I'm not always gonna do that. I want brimstone. Not really. Like this. Yeah, as you can see, I can't pay red parts for this stuff anymore. Because I don't have any. I don't have any to pay. So I gotta pay spirit hearts, which are usually a more costly trade. And you never get spirit hearts back unless you pick up some new ones. It's a risky thing to do. Let's see what's in here. Nope. Here. This is another example of risk reward. I used 2 keys for basically fuck all. If I didn't have a lot of keys, that would really hose me. But it could also give me something really good. Sometimes those rooms are just awesome. You never know. You never know. So like life. You just never know. Sometimes terrible things happen to people. I hope nothing terrible is happening to you today, dear viewer. What do we got? Speed up. Speed up. I'm now a race car. I didn't take damage for that. That's weird. As an aside, I'm getting a little concerned because I can't hear my ferrets. Normally I think that'd be a good thing, but like 2-year-olds, if you can't hear them, you're probably up to no good. What I might do is give the game a bit of a pause for the time being and edit out this section where I go walk away and keep an eyeball on everybody. Go take a look. me just finish this room here. Alright. I'll be right back. Well, certainly glad I went and took a look for them. You know why? Because they're all in the closet. They're strictly not supposed to be. 2-year-olds, man. Gotta keep an eyeball on them. Just like that enemy right there. So good. Oh, dear. So, where was I? I don't remember. Talking about ferrets. Ferrets are pretty awesome. Kind of steamrolling this run. I got lucky in this, I'd say. I got pretty good items off the bat. Decent amount of damage. The damage is kind of king. Go fight our next boss fight. It'll be Mom. Let's see what we have to see. So, this is Mom's heart. I mean, it's called It Lives in this case. It Lives is, yeah. It's Mom's heart, but it's also like a little terrible baby, and yeah. It's just the way this game is. Don't worry about it. I beat it fairly easily because I got a lot of damage. As you can see, there's quite a bit of dodging involved there. Like, I gotta be, on it and careful. And now we're going down to hell. Yep, going down to hell. Like I said, lots of biblical themes and lots of like gross body themes. And here's one. Here's another one, I guess, would be what I'd say. We were just fighting a monster called the Teratoma. I can't remember what Teratoma is exactly, but it's basically like cancer thing, I think. And it was full of spiders. You destroy this like basically giant cancerous tumor, and spiders come launching out of it. Right here we're fighting, a demonic Satan that just kind of mirrors us. Gotta be careful, otherwise he'll do a bunch of damage to us. No. Damn. Oh, I got a little Judgment. Judgment's always a good... So, sorry, I guess Beggar, but I call him Judgment because there's a card that if you use it, called Judgment, it spawns one of these guys. We got the Judgment Beggar. He will take money and will give you items. This item lets me see where everything is on the floor. It doesn't show me the entire floor. It lets me see, what direction everything is. So kind of very useful if you're trying to get through these floors quickly. Which I'm trying to do, because there's no reward for me being down here longer. There's only pain and suffering. Only pain and suffering for me. That's all I get out of this. The goal, like, basically how the game is you gain power, gain power, gain power. Hopefully you gain enough to be able to carry you for the rest. Because you're not going to get anything for quite a while. Especially with the path that we're on. Like, we didn't get another item in the last boss we were fighting. We're not going to get one more from this guy. And we have a very low chance of getting other items with where we're going next, which is the Dark Chest. I don't want that. We'll go fight Satan himself. Drop a bomb. Kill our winged adversary here. Now we're gonna kill his second stage. Dodge all his bullets. And then we're gonna fight his third stage. The cloven hooves that stomp down from above. Yeah, I love this. I love the art in this game. There we go. One more stage done. So normally, again, your game would stop here if you're depending on how deep you are into the game. Depending how deep you are, then you can go to this last section. So see that big door up there? I can open that. Not with what I have, but I can. You basically, you know how I got those deals with the devil? So I could, go fight with the devil every now and then. I can still do that. Or, if I find a deal with the devil, and I'm like, no, I'm okay, I don't want to make a deal with the devil right now. You can have a chance, and again, a chance, of basically getting a deal with an angel. So you go into a room that's very similar to what we had. It'll have a bunch of items in front, except you don't have to pay any hearts for it. And you don't have to, you know, it might just be a bunch of nice free stuff. The problem is that usually those items aren't very good damage-wise. So deal with the devil items are typically very good for doing more damage and becoming more powerful. The deal with the angel items are all about, you know, basically defense. And sometimes defense is really what you need. You know, you need to be able to take a couple more hits. But again, if you get damage, then you don't have to take those hits necessarily. But it's always going to be a little bit of a gamble, I guess. However, to open that big door, I have to get those items that make me weaker. Maybe not make me weaker, but don't necessarily make me a lot stronger. I have to take them. When I take a whole bunch, every time I go in there, what I can do is I can blow up a statue of an angel that's in those areas, and I have to fight an angel basically. I have to fight another boss. I have to do that a couple times because every time it gives me a key. When I get those keys, I can. I go. It's up. When I get those keys, then 2 pieces of those keys, I can then go and fight that boss in there. That boss in there is like a super hard version of, you know, it's probably the hardest boss in the game. Called Mega Satan. It's big, scary Mega Satan, basically. Don't need D20. Gotta reroll Forget Me Now. It'd be fun, but no thanks. And yeah, again, another kind of, oh, damn. It's another kind of risk-reward thing. I was saying, oh, damn, because I could have used that D20 to re-roll all those hearts in there to better stuff. Which, you know, could have been potentially really good. We'll fight some Caesarean section monsters here. And take a bit of damage I shouldn't be. Oh my god. Some more damage I shouldn't be. You kidding me? Okay, I'm gonna use that. So, I got 4 hearts to fight our last boss. I'm a little bit concerned about that now. I was doing good, and then I took a whole bunch of damage. However, we got the slow-mo to the boss, so I'm a little bit less concerned. Basically, that item we took way back when is working out pretty good for me. I got a boss that's super slow. The shots are super slow, so they're way easier to dodge. Kind of just roll on over them. Yep. Got an easy. We got lucky on this one. Got really unlucky, and then we got lucky. We beat it. And that's what a run of the Binding of Isaac looks like, so I'll let you watch this vignette. Mom in the background there. So, oh, unlock something. So this is kind of, you know, when I was talking about permanent unlocks, I did something new in that game, so I unlocked something new. So, folks, you know, thanks for watching. To my family members who want to watch this, thank you as well. Maybe I'm hoping you understand a little bit more about the game. It's a weird one, and this is kind of a weird hobby, and it's a tough one, but it's also a rewarding one. Anyway, thanks, folks. Thanks for joining me. If you want to help me out, please hit like on the video. If you want to see some more, hit subscribe. And as always, have a great day.